Emulators degrade quality.
Yeah,
know,
an emulator does not necessarily have the performance of a dedicated machine. In the same way that a PC-based platform doesn't have the robust qualities of a machine that's built specifically just to do that. And I'm not going to mention brand names, but you know what I mean. So it's a balance of the various qualities. So yeah, if you're going to run an emulator, you're going to have to understand that it's not going to have the full robust quality of a straight system. We have another question?
Yes.
All right.
What is being done to ensure the lag will be reduced compared to this platform?
Lag reduced. And who's that from? Okay, well, that's from LWT. All right. The lag issue. That's a matter of design, and there's a lot of factors involved in lag reduction. I don't think it's appropriate for me to address that at this time. I think the person that knows the most on that is Starry Night, since she did all the experiments and reduced the lag to almost zero. I think that's the person you really want to talk to is Starry Night.
And they want to know if I'm going to sing at the anniversary.
Of course, Riska can sing at the anniversary.
And will I be taking requests?
Requests for Riska to sing? Now, that would be interesting.
Neo says a lot of lag is caused by wasted polygons in designs.
That's not necessarily the case. Video graphic cards are rated in the numbers of polygons or number of shapes, squares, triangles that they can process per microsecond. So basically, the real factor is the density of the number of polygons as opposed to the size and shape of the polygon. So it's really the density. So if you spread things out and keep your polygons to a minimum and don't cluster things, then the lag has a better chance of going away. Then the graphics card has less to render for a given field of view. Now, if we go to a concept that we're trying to implement, and some of that you can actually see at the club that you're in, there's a concept called active field of view. And with active field of view, it actually turns things on and off so that the graphics card doesn't have to render it. You can go out in the main dance floor and start walking around. You'll see things appear and disappear. That's active field of view. What we would like to have, is something in your little toolbar that you can adjust how far out you can see or how far in you can see, and basically trim your active field of view so that your machine performs best for whatever machine you have, because every machine is going to be different. So I would want to see an active field of view adjustment for distance, relative distance, 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, whatever, and be able to adjust that, because each machine is going to respond differently. And you would be able to trim that and actually control the lag and what the graphics card has to render.
Sleaze is wondering, are some of the new bandwidths being opened by the government enough, or should it be more?
Oh boy, that's a good one. The bandwidths, the highest bandwidths we're going to have, of course, are called the common carriers, the backbone common carriers. They're the ones that go from like New York City to Atlanta to Chicago to San Francisco to Los Angeles. Those are the backbone carriers, and they have the highest bandwidth. And yes, I can tell you they throttle your bandwidth simply because they have to that's how they make their money and pay for the equipment that runs this stuff, is in the rates that you pay, and the people that pay the highest rates are the people that buy the highest bandwidths. So therefore, to give very, very inexpensive service for the consumers, they trim down the bandwidth, and they basically the rates come from your bandwidth. So if you want higher bandwidth, you pay more. We have tried a number of different carriers. We were running cable there for a while. We tested that out. Now we're running an overdrive style of DSL, and that seems to run really well. And we're also looking at fiber optic services. when they become available. Unfortunately, for us to, I just found out that for us to maintain, to even get fiber optic service, we have to move to Boston. They don't plan on having fiber optic services in this area for another 5 years or so. So we may be stuck with DSL, or may have to go back to cable as an auxiliary service, because fiber optics is not going to be available in our region. It's only going to be available in certain regions. And the new program's called FiOS, F-I-O-S. It's a new system that's being put in, and yes, there's some government funding in there. The government is actually behind this to give us more bandwidth. They would let, there's going to be areas that the fiber is going to come right into your house, and it's all a good amount of it is coming from government funding. So I would have to say that the government is behind us. The government is trying to help us, trying to help this technology out. And if it takes congressional act, which we probably already have, then they're doing it. So yeah, this FiOS system, F-I-O-S, look that up on the internet. You'll see that it's active in many specific areas in, let's say, bigger cities, like for example, New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, Chicago. You're not going to find it in the smaller towns like I live in, or Marissa, because they're just, we're not even on the radar. We're just so small. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, why don't we call this this class concluded? Remember your assignment, 3,000 words or less. Where do you see virtual reality in 10 years? And with your talents and your ingenuity and thoughts, what can you do, and how do you see yourself in helping to improve virtual reality to get those achievements? And I'll sign this off. It was great to see you all. Remember, we're going to try to do this every Friday at 8 p.m. Maybe next time we're going to do it from the office, because the office has more bandwidth.
Yeah.
This is calling it real close here.
Well, we haven't crashed. So.
You know, we're still running.
Oh, we have to give, well, I was going to say, we have to give them the email, where to send the...
Oh, yes. It's the email. The email address for the assignments is Marsay, M-A-R-S-A-Y, edu, at verizon.net.
Isn't it MarSayHarrington, edu?
No, it's
Marsay,
MarSay,
edu? All right. All right.
So it's MarSayHarrington at verizon.net. That's where to submit your assignments, and we'll go over that in 2 weeks. All right, so we're going to conclude this this class, and hopefully we'll all meet over at this Lord White Tiger party, this anniversary party.
Lord White's saying something.
Oh, that's all right. Why don't you go? I'm gonna sign this off. I'm going to sign this out. Thank you all for coming, and we'll meet again next Friday at 8 p.m.